Okay, boys, girls, Mr. V is a little bit sad here because I've read this reading passage twice and the screen recorder hasn't worked. So this is going to be a brief read of a reading passage called Animal Architects. And architects build homes. So it's talking about animals building their homes. Okay, and just a real cool picture of a bee, and I'm thinking that's some sap from the bee. All right. And the architects we're going to talk about are web spinners. And who are the web spinners? Our friends, the spiders. And the vocabulary: hives, as in the home for bees. Architects are builders. The structures are what architects build. So they're buildings. When you contain something, there's something inside that container. A shelter is like a home, shallow, not deep. A retreat is when you hide. So, Web Spinners by Stephen Kuttner. Just as bees build hives to live in, spiders spin webs. Spiders are talented architects. They design and build structures to live in that are works of art. These structures are also traps for other insects. So that's a great introduction to the reading passage, Web Spinners. And then it moves on to spinning silk. Spider webs are made from silk. Spiders make silk in their bellies. Their silk-making gland, that's part of the body, has many tiny holes. The silk goes through the holes to get outside the spider's body. When it meets the air, the silk forms a thread. The thread is very thin, but very strong. Spiders can make different kinds of silk. Some contain or have a material that makes the silk sticky. Other silks do not have this material. A spider spins a thread behind itself everywhere it goes. This thread is called a drag line. If an enemy comes near, the spider retreats on its drag line. So this blue line going down, the spider's going down, and then there's something here that the spider doesn't like. So boo, it goes up its drag line to get away from the predator. Being able to go backwards on its own line is like having a self-made escape route. All right. Sorry, this is very busy from my other printing. So we're looking at tangled webs. We're looking at cellar spiders. We're looking at orb weavers, very fancy, and water spiders. So 4 different things that we're going to be reading about. And the heading tells us what we're going to read about. So let's read tangled webs. Different spiders build different kinds of webs. That makes sense. The simplest web is called a tangled web. It is just a mess of threads that are attached to something. A cobweb is a dusty, old, tangled web. So there's the tangled web. Cellar spiders. And then I drew this house, and then the top part is the cellar where you just put in the insulation, maybe store some things, and no one really lives up in the cellar. Some spiders are called cellar spiders. This is because they usually build tangled webs in cellars or other dark places. Good. I'd like to be a cellar spider. It sounds like a good place to live without a lot of predators. Orb Weavers, fancy. The most common webs are shaped like wheels. Okay, but not perfectly round, I don't think. They are built by orb weavers. You can find these webs in open areas, such as the spaces between branches. Okay, that's our orb weaving spider. And then this surprised me a bit, a water spider. The water spider builds its web in tiny ponds and other places with shallow water. The web looks like a small air-filled balloon. The water spider feeds and raises its family inside this cozy shelter. This is very interesting to me, spiders and water. So that's something I might go on the iPad to check out. How many different types of water spiders are there? Is there a shelter on the top of the water? What happens if someone pokes a hole in their cozy shelter and they become wet? And this spider would like to say, "Hi, kids." All right. I spoke about you can reread for comprehension. If there's something you don't understand, do this. Reread the paragraph. And take your time. It's not a race. And when we summarize, we're taking the important pieces of information. So what they're saying is you can create your own little description web by choosing one of the spiders. I choose water spider, and putting 2 or 3 key pieces of information about the water spider into your description web, which would then turn into a paragraph. Okay, so comprehension. We have to understand what was the reading passage that we just read? Animal architects. What was the genre? Information or informational, non-fiction. Real things using facts. All right, so you could come up with your topic. Water spider lives in a cozy home in shallow water, and then I want to know the detail. It must be on top of the water. So I might search for that. And it sounded like just the one spider would go out and get the food for everybody. I'd like to check on that. And then finally, read to find out. Here are some animal homes. Oh, no, not here. How are some animal homes similar to your home? Well, they don't have TV, they don't have Wi-Fi, and they're not playing Fortnite. Or what's that block? Minecraft. I guarantee it. So it's not like my house in that way. But does their house protect them from the rain? Probably. Does their house keep them a little warmer when it's cold outside? Probably. Is it a little cooler in the house when it's hot outside? Probably. And does it keep them safe from predators? Yeah, I think so. And then that's a gorgeous looking fox. And it's a wild animal. You do not go up to this fox and startle it or anything like that. You just kind of admire it from a safe distance. Okay, next we're going to read animal homes. And I really, really, really